Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Alan. Can you hear me well? Afternoon, Eldar. Hey, can you hear me well? Yes, good. I'm relieved now. How are you doing? Everything is all right. First of all, let's wait a few seconds and let other students join us. First of all, I would like to thank those students who already sent homework. Thank you so much. I received lots of paperwork via email. It will take some time to check it, but I will try my best to check it as soon as possible because latest homework I received was today morning. Yes, I will. All right, I will send it to you now. I will type it here while we're waiting your classmates to join us, right? Okay, so let's get started and let's start our presentation. Do you see it? Do you see my presentation? Yes. The best vacation memories. So we will talk about memory. We will talk about vacation. We will talk about past tense. So what we are going to do now? We will talk about past. We will review interesting vocabulary notes, some idioms, and we will listen to description of photos. I'm sorry, I didn't type it up to the end. And then we will review past simple. I know the topic is very easy, and this is the last lesson of our revision. From the next week, we will start the new material, so it will be more interesting for you. Before we start, let's talk about past. When we want to say something about the situation that took place in the past, we usually used past simple. And this is very simple and very easy chat for you. It's exercise number 2, I believe, from your books. Yes. Memory quiz. Let's review irregular verbs. It's a task for grade 5, I know. So, first one, see. Second, at, and infinitive form for it, it. Right. Go, participle 1. When, tildar, perfect. Ride, Mirza Said, good. Chalpanai, others. Road, Anil. Taught, infinitive form for it. Ildar, teach. Were. Good, guys, good. To be. To be right. Heard. Irina, good. Make. Participle 1. Mariam, made. Get. Chalpanai, right? I like the chat is running. Have, participle 1. Had. Spoke, infinitive form for it. Speak. Do, participle 1. Did, right. Gave, an infinitive. Nice. And the last word is buy, bought. I'm very proud of you. No single mistake. The task is very easy. Thank you so much. For those who are facing difficulties with irregular words, you have time to review it. For those who don't know irregular words, learn them. Idioms. Well, think of the past, something that doesn't exist anymore. Dial-up modems are a thing of the past. Can you give me equivalent in Russian? A thing of the past. We do have phraseological units with the same meaning in Russian language. A thing of the past. Dial-up modems are a thing of the past. Hats. Castles are a thing of the past, but equivalent in Russian, can we say пережитки прошлого? Yeah, something we don't use anymore and we don't have in our, yes. Donkeys, yes. Something that took place or happened long time ago, and very long period of time took place for this action. And usually this idiom refers to the past rather than to future. So we can say, she has lived in that house for donkey years, long time. In Russian, do we have something similar to Russian? We can say, how do we say with phraseological unit, she lived here for a long time in Russian? No? Много лет? 1000 лет. Я знаю его 1000 лет. Yeah? She lived here. Она живет здесь 1000 лет. But nobody lives 1000 years. Rings a bell. When something sounds very familiar for you, to you, and but you can't remember where it comes from. Oh, I know this music. It rings a bell, but who is the singer? So something that, yes, напоминает, but can you find something, some idiom or phraseological unit to it? Rings a bell. Звучит знакомо. Еще something common to this. Rings a bell. На языке вертится. Very good, Adil. Very good. So you see, we have the same idioms in English and in Russian, but they are quite different. На языке вертится, it means very familiar, so you can't remember it, where it comes from. It rings a bell, sounds very familiar. So let's move further. Look at these pictures. Before we start listening to the topic, try to describe this first picture. So this is a family picture. All of them actually family pictures, but they're different age and different countries. The first one. Adil. Very nice, but so it was taken long time ago, maybe in the beginning of 20th century. Yeah. Family, probably sisters and brothers, right? What about picture number 2? Also family. What do you think? Where this picture was taken from? What country? No? No ideas? Britain. Britain. England. Okay. Maybe Germany. Yes. What about this last picture? Mother and daughter. Yes. Or sisters. So we can just predict. Now I would like you to listen to the tape, make notes, because, sorry, there are some questions after the tape, after the listening. This picture is close to our time, Altina. Yeah, it looks like. So let's see how right were you predicting all the things that you've said. Make notes, the most interesting things you will hear. Are you ready to listen? Ready to listen? Okay, Alan.
This photo is very old. I think it's from about 1910, and it looks very yellow. The man at the back, the first one on the left, is my grandfather. His two brothers are Charles and William. William is the one with the open jacket. My grandfather's sister is called Violet. My grandfather was about 22 when this photo was taken. They were outside the family home in Chicago. 2 years after this photo, my grandfather got married to a friend of Violet, and my father was born about 10 years after this photo. My grandfather worked for 27 years in a cinema about 3 blocks from this house. He started selling chocolate bars and soda drinks to people watching silent movies, and finished as the manager. He was an incredible man.
Number 2.
The girl in this photo is my mother. She was only 1 year old at the time, maybe a little more. The woman with her isn't her mother, but her mother's sister, Matilda. Matilda never had any children. She never got married, but she was always very close to my mother, and they're together in many pictures. A lot of people think she is my mother's mother. The photo was taken in the 1930s in California, where Matilda lived. California in the 1930s was all country and fields. You can see the woods in the background. It was near Hollywood. I went there to that house when I was very young. I remember it. Now it's just another suburb of another city. My brother still has that old car. He loves vintage cars and cleans it every month. I think this is my favorite photo of my mother when she was a child. It's from another world.
It's incredible, but the little girl at the front of this photo is my grandmother. Look at her. She was only 5 years old in this picture, and she still remembers the day it was taken. It was September 1914, and her two uncles, Peter and Lionel, were going to France in the war. They wanted to take a picture. The two women in the middle were Peter's wife and Lionel's girlfriend. They looked very sad. You can understand why. The woman at the back worked in my mother's house, and the man wearing the dark clothes with a cap was a driver or something like that. My mother knows the full story. If you look very closely, you can see that my grandmother has a tiny handbag in her hand. She was like that. She was a little woman even when she was 5 years old. She loved her uncles very much, and even now she says things like, "My Uncle Peter loved cheese." Peter died in the war, sadly, but Lionel came back and became an actor in the theater. My grandmother got married when she was 17 and had 7 children.
All right. Was it tape or the
This photo is very old.
sorry, was it clear? Was the sound good this time? Yes. Was everything clear this time? Did you understand the main topic of each speech? Yeah. So let's move to listening comprehension. There are 6 questions and you have to find the right answer to the question. How many people does the first speaker identify and name? How many people does the first speaker identify and name? The first one. Nope. 6. There is no 6, 2, 4, 3, or 5. 6 people here, but she spoke about 4 of them, about his grandfather, his brother, and Matilda, sister, and grandfather's wife. Fancy. What did the first speaker grandfather do in his life? Have you noticed? What did the first speaker's grandfather do in his life? First, he worked in a cinema, then became a manager. Very good. Very good, Chalpanai. Good. Why do many people think the second speaker's grand aunt is actually his grandmother? Karina. Very good. They were often together in photos. Jihan. Mirza Said. Guys, good. They were always together. How is the house different now comparing to when the photo was taken? It comes to the photo number 2. Still, we're talking about photo number 2. Grandma of a 1-year-old. Karina thinks that the area was more open and less built up. Yes, that time. Yeah. And can you say what country was the picture taken from? Where did the place took? The USA, California, alternate. What was the occasion of the photo that the third speaker talks about? What happened before this picture was taken? The girl's uncle were going to fight in the war. The speaker's grandmother wanted a photo with her handbag. It was the birthday of one of them. 2 of them were leaving the army. Karina. Is there another option? Other versions? Yeah, Karina was right. Good job, Anai. What happened to the uncles of the third speaker's grandmother? He said that they were very close and the grandma loved her uncles very much. But one of them died in a war and other became an actor. Perfect. I'm very proud of you. Very good, guys. Good. Next one. We're here to talk about grammar. I'm sure you're familiar and you know past simple very well. And it's just a revision. To talk about action that took place in the past, we use past simple, right? To talk about the state continued for some time, but it's over, we use past simple. And we use past simple when we talk about something that happened very regular in the past. Can you tell me what auxiliary verb do we use in negative and the question sentences in past simple? Did. What happened with the meaning verb in the simple sentence? With the meaning verb, we have 2 types of meaning verbs in past simple. One regular one has ending ed alternate, and the irregular one has what kind of form does it have? Third form, Adi. Are you sure? Second, participle one. Participle one, infinitive participle one, second form. Okay, exercise number 3. Page 7. If you have your books with you, please, welcome to open them. Right. We have to put these words in negative sentence, affirmative, positive sentences, affirmative sentences, and negative forms. I watched TV last night, or I didn't watch TV last night. Negative one. Oh, sorry, watched, supposed to be. Listen to music yesterday. Jahan? Listen to music or didn't listen to music. Right, negative form. All right, okay. Meet friends. This is irregular verb, so we change the participle one. I met my friends. I didn't meet my friends. If we have auxiliary verb in the sentence, we do not change meaning verb, right? Good. Next one, do homework. Did homework. What comes to the negative form of the sentence? Didn't do, Chalpanai. Good. Next, play video games this morning. Didn't play video games or didn't play. Very good. Yes, I did. You did. Ride bicycle. Milana, good. Rode bicycle or I didn't ride. Chilpanine, good. And the last one, buy present. Bought a present. Or I didn't buy a present. Simple and easy. The next thing I would like to remind you about object and subject questions. When we use WH question, who, what, which, and some of this question requires to have auxiliary verb, and some of them doesn't need to have auxiliary verb afterwards. So when do we put auxiliary verbs after these words? When we don't put them. So subject and object questions. If who, which, and what are the subject of the question, we do not use verb in the question form. Like Harry knows Jane. Who knows Jane? Because Harry is the subject of the sentence. There is no need to put auxiliary verb. If who, which, or what the object of the question, we use the question form. We use auxiliary verb after WH. Jane knows Bob. Bob is object. Who does Jane know? So once again, if the subject of the question is the main thing that we're asking about, so there is no auxiliary verb after WH question. If it's object, so this thing we're asking about, we do use auxiliary verb after WH. We will come back to this topic once again and we will discuss it in details. So if you have any questions, don't worry, we'll be back to discuss it again. But let's practice so far with exercise number 5, page 7 from your books. Okay, who sat? Perfect, Adil. Good. Who sat next to you on your first day at school? Who you talk about? Who did you talk about? Yeah? Yes. Who teach you to read? Who taught? Okay, I see we have to review this topic once again. What books you read? Did you read? Good, Denise. What toys you have when you were young? Good, Eldar. What happened to those toys? Altanai? Oh, I'm sorry, I said the right answer. Sorry. Who cooked dinner last night at home? Perfect, Eldar. Adil. And last one, what they cook? All right. So anyway, we will be back to this topic and we will discuss it in details. So you will be able to ask questions easily in the right way. Well, here we are. This is your home task up to Saturday. Next time we will meet on Saturday. Students book page 6 and 7. Review it once again, please. And please finish exercise we didn't do. Write a paragraph about a great day out. Just share your memories, the best memories you had. The student's book, page 7. Review irregular verbs. And the workbook, page 7. So father is not asking, yeah, class, lucky you are, but I would like you to do this homework properly, and especially I'm expecting to have a paragraph about grade out. PDF format, yes, I will send it to your teacher, but I would like you to get the paper book because you have the references at the end and it will be easy to find. Besides that, please buy workbooks. So next time I would like you to be ready and work properly.